Hello. Good evening. How are you doing? I'm Rebecca Nichols. This is my podcast, Royal Treats, and of course we're celebrating 12 days of Christmas, and it is January the 3rd, 3 days in to the new year. How are we doing? I must admit it's been a really good start to the new year. Lots of positivity, lots of things happening. I have been on my manifesting program with the women that I'm coaching and just being in that zone of gratitude, presence, clearing out, forgiveness. Cleaner came today and, got rid of all the Christmas stuff. It's like, bye. We don't want you here anymore. I know we're not quite finished with the 12 days of Christmas, but I'm just kind of getting sick of it. And, while she was here, it was a good opportunity to do a bit of a clean. And, thinking about decluttering. I spoke about that yesterday on the podcast when we were talking about full moon in Cancer. So you will still be feeling that in January and the need to declutter. But actually, I was reading today that a lot of us just don't really follow through with our resolutions. I think we all start with really great intentions. And the thing about intention setting, and it's part of what I do as a coach, is that you need a lot of consistency when you're intention settings. And, I read an article by Richard Branson saying, we've got to write down our goals. And I think that it's really kind of an obvious thing for you to do, but actually when we put pen to paper with a lot of our ideas, it actually makes it real. And obviously if you're a witch, then you know that the power of spelling is written word, spoken word, and how important are we as creators when we are going out into the world and speaking our words and manifesting our reality through our thoughts, words and actions, and something I've been sharing with you quite a lot lately. So thank you for those who are on the program with me. It's just been amazing, even just 2 days in, as we started sort of live coaching yesterday. And I've got some exciting things happening this year, guys, and I'm really, really am excited for all the amazing things that are happening to me in 2018. So much is happening. But let's talk about relationships, because that's why I'm here. Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about your relationships. Let's talk about what really makes you happy and excited and fulfilled. Relationships should be a pleasure and they should be a joy. And we should be able to have really honest, open conversations with the people around us about how we feel, how they make us feel, and really having this real conversation within ourselves, this inner self, this kind of like, who am I? What relationship do I have with self? This is the first relationship, the most important relationship, before you can really make your life mean something. You want colourful, deep, meaningful, satisfying, empowering, sexual. If they're that way inclined, you want the sex to be good, right? You want to connect there, and you want to be vocal in many ways about a lot of things, not just in that department, but about how you feel and about how that person is making you feel. And I feel like we talk a lot about our problems to other people and what's not going right in our relationships, but there's a lot of conversations we're not having within our relationships, and the conversations we're not having are really kind of eating us up inside. And I know that firsthand from the relationships that I've had, that although I did try, of course, to have as many open and honest conversations within my relationships, it just sometimes, we make mistakes and we hurt people and we fail, or we fail forward, I like to say. It's hard to then restore integrity back into relationships. And I've had compromise, I wouldn't even say compromising, I don't know if that's the right word, but I've had difficult situations within my relationships, and to the point where I've even had to walk away from some. I've had a lot of regrets around some of the things that have gone on within my relationships. I'm regret that I didn't use my voice and that I tolerated things that I thought I had to tolerate it. You know, I think that's the problem in a lot of relationships. We feel that, well, this is it. You know, we have to make a lot of compromise. I think we do have to compromise. That's the appropriate time to use that word. But I don't think we should compromise to a point where we are suffering. I think that's where we have to have balance, and where we have to restore balance, and where we have to have clear communication. And so when we're thinking about communication, we're thinking about throat chakra, we're thinking about self-expression, and we're feeling it's okay to be heard and use and our voices be heard. And you know, this is me. This is who I am, and this is how you make me feel, and that's not really okay with me. And I think once we have that conversation, and we're willing to have that conversation, and we're willing to be really clear about certain things, about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, you know, we've got to get a bit unreasonable sometimes. You know, we can't be too compromising because we love people. Oh, well, I'll just have to put up with the crap because I love that person. And fair enough, and you may do. But I think we need to be able to be willing to work with each other and understand each other on a much more deeper level, and be willing to really see things within people that pick up on things in relationships as well. I think sometimes we know things aren't amazing or not hunky-dory or could be better, but we just plod along because we accept, well, this is it. This is all I'm going to get. Maybe I won't get any more. So we devalue ourselves, and, you know, our self-esteem and our self-worth and our self-love is affected along the way, because the more we compromise and it's not a balance, the more it's just give, and we're depleted in every area of our lives, in energy, in time, in love, and we're on empty. Our love tanks are on empty. And so when I say that, I say that to say this in many ways, because we're going to go on to love languages. And if you haven't heard, and I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast show before, but actually when I came across this book, I was mind blown. And I'm really grateful for the journey of the past 2-3 years, where I've just kind of went deep into the personal development world and became Reiki master and learned everything about energy and chakras and stuff like that. It's been an absolute phenomenal journey. This is not the end. Definitely not. So much to come. Obviously I'd love to now get into a space of really teaching and sharing the gifts and getting more people out in the world and understanding Reiki, because that's what's going to make the world a better place. More peace. You know, peace starts with us, inside of us. Inner peace begins within us, and what a beautiful thing when we have that inner peace, because we can birth ourselves out into the world, right? Based on how we feel. So when we're angry and we're upset and we're hurt and we're frustrated, we project that out into the world, and then we dump all our shit on other people. But when we're peaceful, you know, all we want is peace. All we want is calm. And we put that out into the world as well. But don't get me wrong. You know, I'm namaste, but I will tell you about yourself. If you come with me with BS, and you come with me with bad vibes, and you come with me with, you know, negativity, I don't necessarily correct you, but I won't tolerate it. I won't be like, I just don't come here with your bad vibes. See you later. You know, and there's some things that just aren't acceptable within my environment, within my surrounding environment as well. And this is where we kind of have to have conversations, you know. This is not okay with me. Where can we bring empathy into different areas of our lives, where we can have more self-awareness of others? You know, and this is something, a personal development program called Landmark that I did, kind of started me off in the most amazing direction, beginning of 2015, just after I won the lottery. Now, I'm just glad that I found it, personal development, because I think I would have probably, you know, ended up on a downward spiral journey quite easily as well. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the journey that I've been on and where I'm going and where I'm taking you, more importantly, Queens. I want you to really develop your relationship with self more than anything, yeah? And before you go out there seeking something from the world and trying to be something in the world, you can be something in this world. We all can. We're all here for a great purpose. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I believe when we're going out and then we're seeking things outside of ourselves, we end up not really being fulfilled in many ways. And you'll know if you're in love. You'll know if you really love yourself, because people will come in and out of your life and it won't really affect you that much. You know, people are like, oh, how do I live without him? How do I continue? It's like, how did you live without him before? Like, or what was life like before you didn't have him? You know, this is why self-love needs to be taught from young, so that our children can grow up and feel secure in self and have enough love to walk away from things that just aren't working for them and just not aligning with them. I want Justin to have the confidence in himself and feel that ability within himself to succeed as well. Whatever he puts his mind to, that he will manifest here on the 3D. Super powerful stuff when we get it and when we really get the revelation of it. And I pray that we all get it so that we can share it and teach it, and that the world can be a little bit a better place so that we can all coexist. That's what I believe. That's kind of why I believe I'm here and what I've been sent here to do on this beautiful planet. So love languages. Let's talk a little bit more about love languages, because yeah, this has been amazing for me, literally life-changing. And Dr. Gary Chapman has said he created the love languages based on he was a marriage counsellor, right? 25 years as a marriage counsellor. And so what he was witnessing was that there was a high amount of people ending in divorce. But what was really happening, they were coming to him for counselling and then trying to repair the marriage. And it would start off really well and you'd have that honeymoon period. Oh, everything's great. Because it always is. We're in love. She's amazing. The sex is wonderful. You're discovering things about each other as well. And it's all really new and exciting, isn't it? Oh, I didn't know that you farted in your sleep. How exciting. I'm joking. I kind of do though sometimes. Hey, I'm just real, people. This is why you love me. Yeah, so then he started to see patterns in people's behaviour. And he started to really then realise that people were loving, but they were just loving very differently. And they were loving from their love language and not loving from a space of, what's my partner's love language and how do they receive love? Now, we can give love and receive love very differently. See, I kind of give love in many ways. I don't think I'm limited to how I give love. I might buy you a gift. I might write you a card. I might give you some affirmations. I might give you a hug. I might give you a kiss. I don't know. I might do some other things with you, you know what I mean? But I will always try to find out your love language so I can communicate to you in your primary love language. I think we all love we can all love in all the 5 languages in so many ways. We all appreciate a hug and a kiss. And some people don't, like, especially kind of like personal space. Some people are like, oh no, don't hug me, that's weird. Go away. My mum's definitely not one to hug her. Oh no. She's never been hugged. No, I don't think she got hugged as a kid. It's weird. Some people just aren't like that though. You've got to accept that we're all very different. And we're all experiencing life very differently. So there's no right or wrong there. I like to hear affirmations. And this is something that I think I struggled with in my most recent relationship, because I just needed to hear it. Can you just tell me you love me? But even though that I really care for you, I care deeply for you, I'm not buying any of that crap. Don't tell me that. Don't come to me with that BS. That's bullshit. And guys, if you're coming to your woman with like, I really care for you, just go like, really, just fuck off. I'm gonna be real. You know, every girl deserves to be told that you love her, regardless if her affirmation is, if her love language is affirmations, right? I think it takes a real man to do that. And I think actually men opening up their emotions and being vulnerable, powerful stuff. Don't ever underestimate that, because we're in 2018 now. And you know what? And I said it the other day, emotionally disconnected men, you're not going to get a look in with the way the women are rising right now. I'm telling you, queens, you know it. I think this is amazing, actually. I think we're all just taking back our pussy power. And we're all just like, you know what, mate? Do one. If you don't know how to be emotionally connected to me, you are not connected to me. We are just having this physical relationship, which actually is nothing. You know, you need deeper, you need more meaningful, you need to be having those conversations, you need to be able to open up with people, you need to be having the banter, the laughter, the sad times, the great sex. You know, it's a whole combination of everything, you know. It's not just about one thing or the other. And as the relationship evolves and you grow, things do change, and you throw kids into the mix of things. Of course, things are going to change, right? And you might not be able to get as much nookie as you want to get, huh? I get it. But make time and take time to nurture your relationships, man and woman. I'm not just talking about women here, and I'm not just putting it on the guys here. I'm saying that, you know, man or woman, it takes two to come together to make a relationship really work. It takes a lot of teamwork, and actually you kind of lot be on the same mindset and the same wavelength and the same vibration. You know, I'm an energy master. That's what I deal with. And so if you're not on the same frequency and you're not sympathizing, you know, you hear me say this, sympathizing and chaotic, it's not happening, boo. You're going to be chaotic, you'll be clashing, you'll be rowing, there'll be lack of appreciation, there'll be no acknowledgement, you won't be valuing each other as much as you should be valuing each other, there'll be lack of gratitude. You know, really find gratitude in your relationships that you have right now. Do me a favour, just go and write 10 things that you're really grateful for in your relationships. It doesn't necessarily have to be a partner relationship. You could have a relationship with your mum, your brother, a friend, people that are close to you right now. Really powerful. Go and sit down and think of 10 things that you're really grateful for in your relationships, and focus on that. Focus on the positives. Get rid of the judgment. Get rid of the things that aren't right. Stop making them wrong, and really find some good and shine some light into other people's lives with positivity, rather than focusing on what they aren't. Because that's quite easy to do, isn't it, relationships? And then we've got in this comparison, like, oh, so-and-so's boyfriend does this, or so-and-so's girlfriend does that. And then we're taking away from our relationship and we're making it mean nothing. And I mean, that comparison thing, is you can relate that comparison thing to absolutely everything. It doesn't just have to be about relationships. The minute you're comparing yourself to another human being, you're already losing, in my opinion. So according to Dr. Chapman, we understand these love languages make for longer lasting, more meaningful relationships. Yes, power to that. And I think it's fair to say we all want to experience more of that in life, more longer lasting, more longevity, more deep, more meaningful, more relationships that can take us into different levels of our lives, that can nurture us and develop us. You know, beautiful thing. Listen, I know me and I know myself, and I know who I am and what I bring to life and to relationships. I haven't been that lucky in love. I've loved and I've lost, and I think sometimes I just smile, because not for what I've lost, but for what I've had. And sometimes you've got to be in that space. You know, I've had a lot of love. I've been in relationships and I've experienced love. And I probably haven't even experienced love in those relationships because I was separated from self, and therefore the love was really missing from in my own life, within myself. So, you really can't love another being until you love yourself. And so this is why the relationship with self is very, very important. So the main 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. So we can see quite clearly that there's a few there. There's 5, and there's ways to communicate. And so this is where we're going to bring in communication into our relationships. How would you make someone feel love by affirmation? Right, in communication, you would encourage, you would affirm, you would appreciate, you will empathize, and you will listen actively to what they say. Powerful, beautiful. It's just nice to be heard, isn't it? It's nice to be appreciated. Thank you for being here and listening to me. I just thought I'd put that in there because, I like to be heard, and I'm sure that even you like to be heard, and we all need to have these conversations where we can be heard. And at this level, at this pace, communication for me is really, really important. And when people don't communicate with me, or they're blocked in their throat chakra, which is a lot of the time a lot of people are because they don't know how to communicate, or they only know how to communicate via shouting, and that's a blockage. Communicating in a calm, soft voice is a balanced throat chakra. And we can talk a little bit more about that, but I think you've been listening to the podcast and you kind of know what the throat chakra is all about. It is about self-expression, it is about listening, but it is about being heard. It is a balance of both. So what could you do as an action to make someone feel loved via affirmations? You could send an unexpected note, a text, a card. Encourage genuinely and often. I like the genuinely bit. I'm quite a sincere person. I think when I put stuff out there, it's generally who I am and how I feel. Being inauthentic doesn't really sit well with me. I kind of very much say what I say because I say what I say and I mean what I say, and even that's it. I don't really say things to decorate people's egos because I think that's what they want to hear. And actually, I think it can be quite difficult for people to receive that kind of compliment or those kind of words because they're like, oh, really? Where's that come from? Or why are you saying that? Do they really mean it? Or what do they want? We always put up a guard even. We kind of think, well, how can anyone want to be that nice or say something that kind? Or I don't even know you, really. Me, I'm just weird, sending out, I just love you to everybody. But I put a lot of love out there because I just kind of like putting a lot of love out there. I think the world needs more love, and I'm quite willing to give it wherever I can to make people feel appreciated, acknowledged, have that human connection. It's really a beautiful thing. Finally, what to avoid. So if your love language is affirmation, non-constructive criticism. I think we can all take a level of criticism, but I think we are our biggest critics when it comes to the things we say about ourselves. We don't need anyone else telling us stuff that we already know about ourselves, even when we're failing or we're doing things wrong, but we're not really doing things wrong because we're learning, right? Are we ever really doing anything wrong? Yeah, life is just a lesson, one big school. Take one day at a time, embrace it, love it, learn from it, fail a few times if you have to fail a few times. You can't even really fail, which I think is the most beautiful thing. We can all learn, we can all grow, and we can all improve. Not recognising or appreciating effort. I think this has been huge for me on a personal level in some of my relationships and some of the things that I've done for people. Like, I go out of my way to really help people, and that lack of appreciation for the effort that I've put into some of the things I've done, I'm not gonna lie, pisses me off. But because my love language is affirmation, I need you to be like, you know what, thank you so much, you didn't have to do that, I really appreciate it. You know, and some people, they don't like doing that because it's kind of like ego and it's getting in the way, and they're just kind of like, oh, you know, I don't want to be like, you know. But if someone's done something for you in this life that's helped you in any way, go and show some fucking gratitude, for God's sake. Don't take people for granted who've got kind hearts. And I've given a lot over the past 2 years to people in terms of money, effort, time. I don't know. People don't want to remember that, though. They want to remember the one time where you didn't help them or you said no. And actually 2017 for me was a big time for me to say no to a lot of things, just because I needed to really love me and stop giving too much love out into the world, and I'm feeling a bit unappreciated on so many levels. It hurt me, like, more than I cared to even realise at the time. But the beautiful thing about life is that you have a chance to grow in that space and really learn about yourself in that space. And I think I learned where I was going wrong in so many ways. I was expecting people to love the way I loved, in my world, in my love language, and people don't love in your own love language. So I think that's where we have to always put boundaries in. And we're going to talk about boundaries if we've got time. We've got 27 minutes now. Got 17 minutes left. Well, let's have a look. Let's move on and let's talk about the physical touch now. And those are the people who really do need a hug, right? You need a hug, they need a touch, they need a pat on the back, they need a kiss on the lip, they need a kiss on the forehead. I don't know, they need you to hold their hand. I know a few people like that. I think my secondary language, I'm probably a little bit of all of them. I think my second language is body touch and physical touch. I think my first is definitely affirmations, but I think second is hugs and touch is important to me too. I mean, I think it's important to all of us in some degree, but some people, they just really need it. That's like their primary love language. So yeah, actions to take will be kisses, hugs, holding hands, physical affection, regular intimacy. It's got to be a priority, because you don't want that love bank to get empty. Obviously, things to avoid: physical neglect, long stints without intimacy, and receiving affectionate coldly. Giving someone a hug and it's a bit like, it's not really, it's insincere, it's not proper. I mean, I hug someone, I'm like, I hug you, my heart chakra's probably exploding into yours. Like, I'm always a heart-centered hug, so I always hug heart to heart, so you feel that love, and it's just a vibe, right? When someone really does connect with you on that level, and a beautiful thing, totally. Receiving gifts. Yeah, there's people out there, that's their love language. They want a gift. I don't think it's about expense. I think it's about thought. So we are looking at thoughtful gifts, seeing something and thinking, oh yeah, well, my partner would like that. Or I'll get that for you. I was like that a lot of the time within my relationships, because actually I'm just kind of like that anyway, because I like to give gifts to people if I can do it. Why not? Why not? If you can, you should. And giving thoughtful gifts, small things, little things, not necessarily huge things, but the little things, just little things. Go out of your way to alleviate the daily workload. Oh, no, sorry. Where did that come from? I should put my glasses on. Express gratitude when receiving a gift. So yes, actions to take would be express gratitude when receiving a gift. Really important, of course. I think gratitude needs to be put into everything, every area of our life. Obviously, if people, their love languages are things to avoid, then definitely forgetting special occasions, where you'd think a gift would be important, would be upsetting, or unenthusiastic gift receiving too. So the fourth love language would be acts of service. So this is like people who would like you to go out their way to do stuff for them. Come and help me put up this shelf. Come and help me do the dishes. Come and help me unload the dishwasher. Or hoover for me. And clean your desk for mummy. That's what I say to Tristan. Just clean your desk for mummy. Go on, be a good boy. Help mummy out. But it's important that we are teaching our children to do these things as well. Like, to be self-sufficient and to be supportive. Obviously things to avoid. Actions to take a little bit more, do chores together, make it a team thing, like really get involved in that surface work that needs to be done around the home. Like, don't just leave it to your partner. If you know your partner's love language is acts of service, then like get involved. Ask her, look, do you need help, babe? Like, I'll help you, help you out. And then she'll be like, wow, that's really supportive. Yeah, he helps me all the time. Like, that's really kind of him. Or not all the time, but like, have awareness there. Definitely. I think guys need to probably have more awareness around there, especially in relationships within the house. If there's children involved, where can you do your little bit to make the workload a little bit easier, right? Things to avoid: making the request of others a high priority. So, for instance, putting others above your partner in terms of like stuff you want to do. Really lacking follow through on tasks as well. Like, you say you're going to do something, then you don't. It's also integrity, right? And you want to restore integrity into relationships when these things happen. And you want to also just have awareness in that space as much as you can, because it's important that your partner feels that you do care and you are helping out around the house. And, they're things that aren't, it's not like things are more important than them, but it's just bringing balance into that environment, I guess. Quality time. Yes. I think Tristan likes a lot of kids like that. A lot of kids want time with their parents more than anything, and I'm very aware of that. So there's like movie nights and going out for dinner time and bike rides and other adventures, like bringing awareness into your space within that environment with your children as well, not just your partner. But time is something that I think we all really value with our partners or our loved ones or our children, sitting down and having 15-20 minutes just to sit there and have a conversation. How are you? How was your day? What's happening? Let me tell you about this. Let me share with you a little bit about my life, my world, what's been going on. Just those 20 minutes to talk, quite important, really. Or watching a movie or a date night or doing something together. That's a joint thing, like creating memories together. Yeah, really important. Special moments, walking, taking walks, doing small things. Weekends away are obviously huge for people who want that quality time. Even we've got kids, time away together, so important. Before you obviously had kids, you might have been, it was just you two, and you can lose that when the kids come along, and you need to have that in your relationships. I think it's very important. Things to avoid: distractions when spending time together, and non-distinct without one-to-one time. Yeah. Or I've been told off for watching a movie with Tristan, and he's like, get off your phone, Mum. Yeah. Be real. Got to be real. And then Tristan will say to me, Mum, you haven't had much time together. I want to have time with you. So I'll be like, yep, okay, his emotional tank's empty. Need to fill it up, love. So yeah. I think you have to sit there and have these conversations with your partner and really find out what makes them happy and what makes them feel loved by you. This is the only way you'll be able to communicate with them in the language that they speak, and ditto, vice versa. You've got to be willing to open up and express yourself about how you like to receive love. I made it perfectly clear how I like to receive love, but my partner wasn't willing to give me what I needed. And so what do you do then? What do you do if you feel like your love language is not being satisfied? Yeah, you can walk away if you really feel that, this isn't just not working. He's just not willing to compromise on this for me, and this is really huge. I mean, I need to be told I'm important, or I'm pretty, or you're proud of me, or well done, you're doing great. Those words of encouragement, we need to hear them more often to just make us feel supported. We expect that from the people around us who we're in relationships with, the people that we love. We do. Absolutely. And I don't see why we shouldn't. Justin's always telling me, you're amazing, Mum. You've got an amazing life. I love you. I'm like blown away. But he's come so far, and we're working together every day and making him the best little human he can be. He's such a little doll. I'm very blessed to have such an amazing child, but we've been on a journey together and it hasn't always been easy. I've been overcoming my own shit from childhood and trauma and been healing, and he's took a brunt of a lot from what I've experienced. And the past 8 years he's been here on this planet. I'd say the first 4 years he was here weren't so easy for him, because I was in that real dark space of not really taking ownership and really just living in a real ego bubble, and I didn't have any awareness of self or what my actions were and what I was doing and how it was affecting him. I was just too caught up in my own crap, and I wasn't able to see what the effect was around me. So I had to really work on the relationship with Tristan, and I'm very proud of what we've been able to create. And I said, he's moving forward. He's going in his personal development program. He's having more awareness of self. He's communicating much better with me. And he's going to be starting school soon. So, wow, back in school. And so, yeah, I know he's going to be doing just fine. Obviously, I'm there to support him and make sure he's happy, which is the most important thing. Nothing else matters. Seriously, we've got to be happy. We've got to have that inner peace. We've got to have that that safe and secure sense of feeling within ourselves, not necessarily something that we can find in others. I just want to check on time. So we've just got just under 5-6 minutes left, so I don't really want to be touching on boundaries right now. I do feel like it's probably worthy of a full podcast because there's so much to really understand about boundaries and how to implement them in your relationships and how you can make your relationships work with boundaries. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. I think my voice is absolutely had enough. I've been coaching today. I've been on the phone to people. I did a live coaching call with my students, and so I definitely feel like I'm going to have a nice cup of tea and find some gratitude for this day. Do a little bit of writing, and then call it a day. It's been an amazing day, and it's day. Is it day 9 or day 10? I think we're day 10. Oh my God. So thank you. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you for listening. I hope that this has added some value to you, and I do encourage you to explore the love languages for yourself. Read the book, get the audio, really get to know yourself if you haven't already in 2017, if you haven't been on this journey with me for a little bit. If you're new to me in the podcast and you really want to step into a space where you find comfort within your own existence, then self-love is where it all starts. And it's definitely started for me in 2017. It's been a journey, and I really encourage you all to find yourself 100%, because that's where it's at. That's where the goodies are at. I love you all. Thank you. I really do appreciate you. And until tomorrow, until we meet again, darlings, sending you all the love and light. Take care. Bye.